Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 277, and today is our lesson number 42. Let's take a look at it. Lesson number 42 on page 277. Problem number 32. Problem number 32. It says if a and b are positive integer, is their product even? Very simple. If a and b are positive integers, is their product even? Very simple, very straightforward question. Let's see what they give us for information. In the first statement they tell us that their sum is odd. Alright, so in the first statement they tell us that their sum is odd. The sum of a and b is odd. Their sum is odd. Well, let's take a look at it. A plus b we know is odd. It's an odd number. Let's think about it for a second. How is that possible? One possibility is that a is even. There are only four possible combinations: even and odd, even odd, even odd even, odd odd. That's all. So we'll contemplate very quickly. So if a is odd and b is odd plus odd is going to give us odd. Voila. Oh no, odd plus odd does not give us odd. I retract my voila. 1 plus 3 is 4, which is even. Which tells us that that both a and b cannot be odd. Let's look at this one. Even plus even is also even. That tells us that both a and b, they cannot be both even or they cannot be both odd. That's what we have established so far. They cannot be both odd or they cannot be both even, a and b. Let's take a look at here. A plus b is odd. How about if one is odd and one is even? Odd plus even, 1 plus 2 is odd. That would work. And how about and the other way around, because sum it doesn't matter, or 2 plus 1 is the same thing. So what we conclude here, what we arrive at the conclusion is that if their sum is odd, one of them has to be odd and the other has to be even. That's the conclusion we arrive at. They cannot be both odd and they cannot be both even. We rule that out here. They cannot be both odd. 1 and 3 does not work, and they cannot be both even because that will give us even. We are told that their sum is odd, so it rules out this part. One of them has to be odd and the other one has to be even. That's what it is. Now the question is, now that we established that one has to be even and the other one has to be odd, then now the question is, what is the product of even times odd? It doesn't matter what the product is, what the even times odd is. It's going to be either even or odd, but the question is, there is a definite answer to it, which will allow us to answer this question. What is their product? We know by now that one of them has to be even, one of them either A or B has to be even, the other one has to be odd. Therefore their product is going to be even times odd. Even times odd, it doesn't matter whatever it is. We definitely are able to answer this question. Is their product even? The answer is going to be either yes or no. Of course the answer is very simple. We just do it out here. 2 times 3 is 6, which is even. So the answer here just happen to turn out to be affirmative, is their product even? The answer is yes. The first statement by itself is enough. A, D, B, C, E. A, D, B, C, E. And if you still do not know what I'm talking about, please make sure that you watch this video. Just type in my name, Kishwani, and just type in data sufficiency intro. Watch that video, make sure of it. Since the first statement by itself works, answer cannot be B, C, or E. Answer has to be either A or a D. Answer has got to be either A or a D. Let's look at second statement. The second statement tells us I was going to do it at the bottom, but it's going to get too crowded. Second statement tells us that A is even. Well, if A is even, then we have even times, it doesn't matter what B is, because even times odd, even if B happens to be odd, even times odd, 2 times 3 is even, is 6. Or if B happens to be odd, then here we had even times odd, 2 times 3 is 6, which is even. And here, if B happens to be even, then even times even, which is A times B here, 2 times 4 is also even. So what we arrive at the conclusion is that it doesn't matter whether B is odd, whether B is odd or even. In either case, because it's being multiplied by an even number, the product of even number and an even number is an even number, and the product of an even number and an odd number is an even number. So it doesn't matter what role B plays. B actually plays no role. We only have to know about one of them. We have to know only one of the numbers. Obviously, when the two numbers are being multiplied, and the question is their product even? In order for us to be able to answer that question in yes or no, well, you only have to know about one integer. It's just one integer, whether it's even or odd. Do you understand? So if one integer is even, we are told, then the product is always going to be even. So second statement by itself is also enough. Second statement by itself is also even. Therefore, the answer is D. That's all. Let's do one more, shall we? Let's do one more. I'm going to get out of the frame for about 5 seconds. Just excuse me. I have to do something. Just give me 1 second. Let's do next one. Next one is a very long problem to read. You make sure that you turn to the page 277. Always read the problem to yourself. Don't count on my reading to you. If for no other reason than for the mere fact that I have a slight accent. I don't want to shock you. The weight. Why did I say I have a slight accent? I have a slight accent. The article has to be a, not an. I wasn't thinking. Because of the adjective slight. Anyway, we're digressing. The weight of all the dishes of type X are exactly the same as the weight of all the dishes of type Y. The weight of all the dishes of type X are exactly the same, and the weight of all the dishes of type Y are exactly the same. Alright, so all the X's are the same and all the Y's are the same. All the X's are the same weight, and all the Y's are same weight. I wasn't reading it properly for a second. The question simply is X less than Y? Is dish Y heavier than dish X? This dish X being all the same, dish Y being all the same weight. So when they say dish Y, it doesn't matter which dish you pick, they're all the same weight. Let's see what they give us for information. In the first one they tell you, this is question number 32. In the first one they tell you, this is question number 33, no wonder, I'm still question number 33. In the first statement they tell us the total weight of three dishes of type X, and 2 dishes of type y, and 2 dishes of type y is less than the total weight of 2 dishes of x and 4 dishes of y. 2 dishes of x and 4 dishes of y. So this is very straightforward, very simple. Bring all the x's to one side, bring all the y's to one side. So let's subtract 2x from both sides, and let's subtract 2 y's from both sides to bring the y over there. So here we have a positive 2y, we have a negative 2y, that cancels out. Here we have a positive 2x and a negative 2x, that's cancelled out. That was the whole bloody point, to bring all the x's on one side, as I said. So here we have positive 3x and a negative 2x, which is an x is less than 4y minus a 2y is 2y. So here we have x is less than 2y. The question is there enough for us to be able to tell whether one dish is heavier than the other? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Based on this thing, simply knowing what they tell us is that the weight of one x is less than twice the weight of y, dish y. That does not enable us to tell whether x is heavier or lighter than the y. It does not. I'm going to show it to you here. For example, x could be lighter than the y, or x could be same weight as y, or x could be heavier than the y. There are 3 possibilities. There are 3 possible scenarios. For example, x could be 3 ounces, and y could be 4 ounces. And those of you who are watching who do not know what the hell I'm talking about, the ounces, I know the world has moved on to the metric system. You have my blessing to think of grams, or kilograms if you like, if you're not on a diet. So x could be lighter than y, or x could be same weight as y, or x could be heavier than y. So if y happens to be 4 kilos, x could be 3, 4 or 5, they could be lighter, the same weight or heavier. Simply telling me that x is less than 2 times y is not enough for us to be able to answer this question. Is x lighter than y? To which our answer would be, how the hell do we know? It's not enough. A, D, B, C, E. Since first statement by itself does not give us enough information, answer cannot be B, answer cannot be A or D. It's got to be either B, C or E. Let's look at second statement. Second statement tells us that the total weight of 4 dishes of x and 3 dishes of y, 4 dishes of x and 3 dishes of y is less than the total weight of 3 dishes of x and 4 of y. 3 dishes of x and 4 of y. Same thing again, bring all the x's to one side, on the left hand side bring all the y's to the right hand side, subtract 3x from both sides, subtract 4y from both sides. Right? That's right. Subtract 3y from both sides. And we will have the same thing as before. I know, I don't need to show you this baby stuff, but for some reason I can't control the urge, I have to do it. Positive 3x and positive 3y and negative 3y, it cancels out. And we end up here, positive 4x and a negative 3x, end up with just an x is less than, and this positive 3x and a negative 3x, they cancel out, and we are left with x is less than 4y minus 3y, which is y, which is exactly what they are asking. Is x less than y? The answer turns out to be affirmative. Again, as I always remind you, that was not the bloody point. The point here is not that the answer turned out to be affirmative, the answer turned out to be yes. Answer could have been negative, and you still would have been just as happy. We really don't give a damn whether it turns out to be positive or negative, affirmative or negative, as long as we are able to answer the question in yes or no. Is dish X heavier than Y? Yes it is. Yes it is not. No it is not. Either way is fine. We just have to have enough, the question here is, do we have enough information to be able to answer this question in the yes or no? It turns out to be yes here. So second statement by itself is enough, which means the answer is B. The answer is B. That's all. That's it, we are done. I'm not going to start a third one. I think the video is long enough as it is, because I took too long. I was going at too much of a leisurely pace on the first one. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.